Listen close, we rise up from the ashes, digging for the truth, breaking old habits. We marching with the nesters, they laid the foundation, passed down revelation, sparked our motivation. In a world of facades, we peeling back the layers. Truth is the weapon that cuts through all the fakers. Phonets in our chest, reborn from deception. Eyes wide open, no room for misdirection. Every step we take, we honor the connection between past and present, forging our resurrection. Phoenix rises in truth, setting us free from the lies that they feed. We reclaim our beliefs, thinking differently, we'll break every chain. We dance for freedom, case by case, again. We cultivate vision, planting seeds of awareness, challenge the narrative, break out of the harness, digging deep for knowledge, unearthing the hidden. Our minds are the soil where the future is written, no longer confined by the scripts they prescribe. We write our own story, let the real ones subscribe. One voice becomes many, together we rally. Freedom's not a concept, it's a move and a tally. Case, we break the cage. Phoenix rises in truth, setting us free from the lies that they feed. We reclaim our beliefs, thinking differently, we'll break every chain. We dance for freedom, case by case, again. Rise up, speak out, watch the new world breathe.
Well, hello everyone. Good Friday afternoon. I hope everyone is doing amazing. I have got a lot for you today, so I want to get into it. But remember, welcome to Phoenix Talks. I'm your host, Phoenix, and this is basically where we question any narrative. And I kind of giggle when I say that because there is a lot going on in this case with the IDAHO4. And we have to arise above the assumptions, stay curious, ask the questions, and think with open minds. So here, every question we ask or anyone asks matters. Every angle is welcome, and nothing is off limits. Hopefully you can hear me loud and clear coming over, because here is where curiosity sparks the fire. And speaking of fire, we drop freaking fireballs. I'm telling you, I hope everyone is doing beautifully well today. As I said again, we've got a lot to cover, and I have got a couple of questions to ask all of you. So, the day after Thanksgiving, what was the best thing you ate yesterday? The best thing you ate, and what was the worst? We're going to drop some speed round fireballs. And did your family argue over anything spicy, or was it peaceful for once? The best thing I ate yesterday would have to be the deviled eggs that I made. They were delish, spot on. And I did a quick video on how to make the best deviled eggs ever. The key to it is not to put the eggs in until after a rolling boil. And then the best thing to make them peel easy and faster is always an ice cold bath. And a lot of people skip that part. So just rub it in, Phoenix. Sorry. And the worst thing I ate yesterday, I don't know. I don't think I ate anything really worse. Oh, my husband bought a pumpkin pie, and I don't eat pumpkin pie. And then he wanted me to have a little taste. I think that's probably the worst thing I ever ate. And we had a lot of peace yesterday. A lot of peace. A lot of leftovers. And I think I was beat after we ate. I relaxed while they cleaned up and did the dishes. And that was it. I see a lot of drama. Welcome in, everybody. I'm going to welcome everyone in. Hey, Brenda. Hydrant Eyes. I saw that. Good afternoon. Dina, good to see you. Caleb, good to see you here. Hope you had a fantastic Thanksgiving. Hydrant Eyes. I'm praying for you too. Critic Rick. Don't know where he is. Don't know what happened. Maybe he changed his name. Brenda, I've seen him in other places, so he's around. Rebecca, Sharon, welcome in. Brenda, Donna Rosa, good to see ya. Good to see ya. No, I'm not rubbing it in, Amanda. I think that's funny, hilarious. My mom was pissed when I walked through the door. I love it. I love it. Chocolate pie. Ugh. Worst was today. I stayed in the bedroom with headphones on. It was peaceful. I can imagine. We don't celebrate in the Netherlands. What do you guys celebrate? Do you celebrate any holiday around this time of the year? I'm curious because I've never been to the Netherlands, so I don't know what the culture's like, what the people are like, but you've always been awesome to be in this chat, so I appreciate you here from the Netherlands. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how dramatic? There is no drama, thank goodness, but it is what it is. So let's get to it today. Who's ready? Who is ready? Because there is a new video out. Linden Beck's video is out. Who's Linden Beck? Well, if you remember Josie, and I'm going to show you a picture. Don't let it shock you. I was going to wait till later. But Josie was dating Linden Beck, and I'll get to the jacket part in a minute. But I got two things for you, two big ones today. So frats involved? I don't know. Let's figure this out. I think every single day we get closer and closer. Now, remember, Josie was a criminology student, and she graduated with, I think it's sociology and criminology. So she graduated with both from the U of I. And let's get into it. So Plunder put out a video yesterday. Thank you, Plunder. Amazing job. And basically it is Linden Beck's interview with Moscow. You know, I have to say they don't ask questions, but it is what it is. Let's listen to Linden Beck real quick. It's really short, and I'm going to play it on regular speed. It's about 10 minutes. But let's listen, because I've got some things and bombshells. Oh, I should say fireballs here.
Hi, my name's Lawrence. Okay. What is your first name? What's your middle initial? And what's your date?
2002.
And what's a good phone number? And what's a good address for you? What are you living right
here?
Now? Yeah. Okay. Is that a frat?
Yeah.
Which one's that? Sorry, I don't know you got it.
That's all right.
Stay inside most of the time. Okay. And I will apologize now for asking weird questions about sororities and fraternities, because I just never did that scene. So what can you tell me? Did you go party?
No, I slept through that.
Okay.
I was sleeping at the Whites with Joe. Crashed pretty early, and then we were up. We got back up around really early in the morning, like 2, 3.
What time did you guys crash, roughly?
Okay,
8.
so allegedly he didn't go to any party, wakes up at about 2 or 3. Okay, hold on to that.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And then, sorry. Woke up around that time that happened.
Okay.
And yeah.
Woke up about the time that happened. Did you hear what the detective said? This is Lawrence. Okay, so allegedly he is over at the Whites and he is sleeping over with Josie at the Whites. Well, we all know that Josie and Emily publicly live at the 1118 King Street, right across the street from the frats, the Phi, I think it's the Theta Pi. And then he woke up around that time. What time is he referring to? Yeah, and why is he apologizing? What's going on?
What, help me, for somebody that doesn't know the layout of that phrase, where's the Whites compared to where Dylan and them live?
The Whites is like, let's say, what's that street that so here's the White's apartment, maybe.
Okay.
Like that's like the 2 apartment complexes,
Right.
And I was like up here, and the other house is like back here.
Can you access that off of the side road, or does it come through the parking lot?
You go like the parking lot, you go right here.
Okay.
Go walk through.
Okay, he just described the little walkway that goes up into 1122. To the right is 1112, and right behind 1112 is 1118, where Josie and Emily lived.
Football field distance? What kind of distance?
I'd say so.
Okay. And that's Joe's apartment?
Yeah, there's an apartment.
Gotcha. Okay.
The boat is there.
Okay. So, you guys woke up about that time. What woke you up at that point?
What woke us up?
Yeah, what's did you
Just
have?
woke up.
Okay.
I don't really know.
What did you do at that point?
We were just hanging out in the living room.
Yeah.
Just talking. And then we were up till probably about almost 5.
Yeah.
And then went back to bed. And then
So it was said that someone in the 1118 allegedly left from 3 to 5. So if someone left from 3 to 5 over there and then went over to the Whites, that would be the reason why these people were awake or awoken because of what had happened. In my humble opinion, allegedly, we're speculating, obviously.
we woke up in the morning. I said probably around 9. Maybe earlier, I'm not really sure. I didn't sleep much.
Yeah.
But and then came into the room.
Okay.
And then I think and she sounded pretty scared. She said there was somebody in her house last night. They ran downstairs and locked themselves in a room because she saw somebody in her house and she only sees nose in his chin or something like that.
Okay.
And then she like was freaking out. She wanted us to go over there. So we got her stuff and went over there.
So you and were at the house, didn't go to the
No.
right? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They also didn't go to the right?
I don't think so, no.
So when was the 9 in the morning-ish? When was the time before that you saw?
I was up with and Jeff at like 3.
So that you were hanging out with the girls at that point?
Yeah.
Was Hunter there?
Yeah, he was sleeping in the bed.
Okay.
Or is it his apartment? I'm not sure. I remember being there though.
Okay. And then obviously knows girls, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is she part of that or is she in a different sorority? Is she in a sorority right now?
Yeah.
She is, okay.
Well, I think she might have dropped, but she's still technically, or maybe not technically.
Okay. Beth. Okay. So you woke up, you and her there. Normal?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then and
In the morning.
And that was what time-ish?
Maybe around 10-ish.
Okay. And then you guys went over to the house. Did you all drive in the same car?
We walked,
Walked.
because it's really
That's
close.
not that, yeah, that was my bad. Trying to kill the environment by driving. So what happens when you get to the house?
Ran out, or they were crying, walking out, and I got there before us.
Was he with you guys left that apartment sometime or?
Yeah, he went ahead of us.
Okay.
He was, I think, really concerned.
Gotcha.
And we got there, I was inside, and everyone was crying, and I went into the downstairs door, but I didn't go up the stairs because it was up there too. And said, don't come up if you don't want to see this.
Okay. How well do you know, did you know Ethan?
Not well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just know of him kind of thing to the girls.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever talk about Zena or Maggie or Katie? Maddie, sorry.
What do you mean?
Did she ever talk just about them having boyfriends, anything like that? Did she know Zena and?
Yeah.
So
They're really close friends.
right. So do you remember them talking about anything like boyfriends that are being assholes?
No.
Guys maybe at work that are being assholes, anything like that? Okay. Have you seen or heard anything on social media popping up?
No.
Okay.
My phone died.
Understood. My camera's about to do the same thing, so. Okay. Is any of the girls that you know have any kind of stalking history or anything like that from guys in the past?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
I did hear Dave say something about like a month ago there was like a guy stalking her or something like that. I think you might want to talk to her about that.
Okay. Okay. Anything else that I need to know that you can think of?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. and being 100 yards or ish away, did you hear anything? And did you hear anything? Fireworks? Backfires? Okay. All right. Obviously, if you think of anything, let us know. I've been telling everybody that you guys have the crisis center on campus. My recommendation would be not to wait until you think you need it. As a cop that sees a lot of bad stuff throughout my career, I've learned that if I wait, usually it's too late. Take advantage of those. Go talk to somebody, even if it's just, hey, not being able to sleep or whatever it is. Those things are huge as far as values to helping out. So don't think that you got to power through anything like this. If you have any kind of sleeplessness, lack of appetite, anything like that, go talk to somebody. All right. It's just not worth it to do that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to go see if she's out there again. Check on her again. Anything else I think I need to know?
I don't think so.
All right. All right. Come on out.
All right. Wow, that is so freaking wild. Now, there is a history here. There's absolutely a history. So, Josie dating Linden, okay? And if you remember in the crime scene photos, there was a jacket. I knew he was honest. I don't think he was 100% honest. I think he was at the 1122 King Road. Don't know when and where or what time, but there was a jacket that was left that a lot of people assumed it was Ethan's, and it could have been, but it looks more like Lyndon's jacket than anyone else's, in my humble opinion, after looking at tons of pictures. And when I say the one on the top right quadrant of the screen that I'm showing you is the crime scene jacket that was left at 1122. Don't know what time it was left or when it was left, but it was left. So, and there's a closer up picture of this picture. Okay. Now, does it mean they were involved? Have no idea. But I found it very interesting that these pictures have not officially been released, but they are going around the internet. And this is saying that this was at Taylor. Okay. Now, was there a party going on at Taylor? Maybe. Maybe there was. And that's where the Whites are. The Taylor apartments are called, AKA the Whites. And perhaps there was. It did look like his jacket to me, in my humble opinion. And he did say he didn't go upstairs because he was told he didn't want to see what was up there, which somebody else already knew what was allegedly up there. So he said that he did talk to so and so at 10 a.m., said they were scared, yada, yada, yada. And, did he have a toothache too? I don't know. But going to bed on a Saturday night at 8 a.m. didn't sound very believable to me, in my humble opinion. So I believe it was Hunter that told him he didn't want to go upstairs. And there, is some background to this. So when Moscow Police Department went to the 1122 King Road, it said on 11/14, I responded to the area of King and Queen. I photographed and looked in 3 dumpsters in the area outside of 1122 King Road and blank, blank, blank King Road. So I think he walked all around King Road, including the frats where JD lived, and King, where Josie and Emily lived, in my humble opinion. And they said all 3 dumpsters were located on the street. I saw nothing of evidentiary value. But wait. Moscow Police Department, here's another conundrum. They said they collected 113 pieces of evidence. Does anybody remember that? Let me pull that up. We're going to turn this into a semi-live. 113 pieces of evidence were found in 3 dumpsters per the police department. Hold on one second. Hold on. Hold on a second. I'm going to pull this up. I've shown this clip before. They did specify on their website and in communications with the community that there was 113 pieces of evidence from the dumpsters. Here's a official update. Let's see if it loads. Come on. Okay, so that one loads. It says some blood was located on the second floor of Taylor, which I just showed you the blood. Blank Taylor is commonly referred to as the Whites, which we know, which is a party location. The blood was isolated to one area with no trail to either area. I photographed the blood and notified the crime scene investigators. Officer House and I walked to various areas around the crime scene looking for evidence. They found nothing of evidentiary value. Interesting. They did say that they did take a picture of it. And is this the picture? I don't know. This is the picture that had been leaked. Quite possible. So I hope y'all are with me so far. Okay, so there's blood at the Whites. Linden and Josie were said to be staying at the Whites. Then they take Linden's phone. Here's the evidence of it. On December 15th, I was requested to complete a forensic extraction on a Samsung cell phone provided by LB. We can only assume, we're assuming here, that that is Linden Beck. Beck signed a consent to search form for the device, and it was provided to me by ISP Detective Huel Powell. The form had been uploaded to the case files. The phone was powered on, and I placed it in airplane mode to protect any potential evidence on the phone from being removed or remotely deleted. I took photos of the device and attached them on the case file. The phone required a passcode to access the data on the device. Beck provided passcode to swipe. The code is X, Y, and Z. Okay. Yeah, they took his phone, but not Eric Gower's. In examining the Samsung Z Flip, I first looked for identifiers, indica of ownership. The device was black in color and black colored case. The device was running yada, 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 the phone's serial number, and it showed the user number, and they got his Gmail account number. So that was the basics, and the phone number was assigned to blank, blank, blank. Okay, so stay with me here. So we've got Linden Beck saying that someone's disappeared between, not disappeared, but obviously woken up between 3 and 5. Amanda, a toddler could have done a better investigation. That's very important. Now, we never knew that Linden Beck was actually on the scene of the crime, did we? No. And how did he not catch that? Why did they not start asking questions? They all went to the house that morning. Never. I knew LB, somebody had sent me a screenshot that said, where was Linden Beck that morning? And I never got what it meant until this interview came out. So shout out to Plunder for that interview. Thank you so much. But let's take a poll. Does anyone believe the frats may have been involved yet? Is that a possibility? Absolutely. Absolutely. So we know that if they had been involved, and that's the question that we are asking, and if it's hypothetically, or we assume or speculate that yes, perhaps they could be involved, to what level? What level? Did they know something was going to go down? Did they know something bad was going to happen? Were they present? Were they told to get out of there? Were they told? I mean, who knows? We still wonder to this day because we know factually. Guess what we know? We've only known what Ann Taylor has shared with us, right? that, oh, why does this not work?
Brian has been essentially convicted in the media. He has a right to have this information withheld, brought out in public, so that people can see it's not this neat little package. So people can start to wonder if Brian's innocent. Your Honor, Brian is innocent. So if I talk about things that are in the affidavit, and if I talk about things that we're seeking that the state wants to hide, I think that's fair game for the public to hear.
And I also believe that too. I believe that, no doubt, that they are, the chain of command is that they call whoever is in charge first. Just like, other people have said that they do check-ins. And the frats make sure that they have accountability where everyone is, that nobody's getting in trouble. And they know firsthand. They knew right away what had been going on. They had to have. Because by their rules and their regulations and their hierarchy, they need to know. Okay? So let's turn our eyes to something else that coincides with the timeline. So now we get between 3 and 5. We get some type of solidification and timeline. But what if I told you that timeline was actually 2 a.m.? Would you be shocked? Because I'm going to show you something that will make you question everything you've seen today. Everything that I've showed you. Keep this picture in the back of your mind when you listen to this. And then you'll listen to something else that I caught. Here we go. This is Peyton Rossi's statement to the police. I've got it teed up. It's ready to go. Listen.
Okay, so you said you came back between 10 and 11. You were watching a movie with your and his girlfriend, and then what happened after that?
I went to bed, and then I ended up going and picking up 3 seniors from the club around 2, I want to say.
Okay. You remember what time you went to bed?
Probably like right after, probably like 2:30, 3.
Okay. Did you go to bed before you picked them up or no?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, so you watched a movie, you went to sleep, then you got a phone call?
Yeah, I was laying in bed, and then like we usually have a sober driver,
right,
for like nice weekends and stuff.
Yep.
And one of our freshmen got pulled over, kind of let off with a warning. He wasn't like driving his own car.
Right.
So he just came home and told, "Don't worry about rides or anything like for the rest of the night. I don't want you to get in trouble or anything."
Right.
And then
so you kind of took over that role for the night then?
Yeah, I just picked up.
So he picked up 3 frats. He drops them off at 1127. That is where JD and Adam and a couple of other frats live. He picks them up and drops them off.
Just from the club.
You said?
Yeah.
Corner club.
And who else?
Just those 3, sir.
Sorry. And who else?
No,
Okay.
sorry.
And they're all...
Yes, sir.
Okay, you picked them 3 up at the club?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then what happened when you picked them up from the club?
I just drove them home and dropped them off.
Did you guys all leave the vehicle together to go back in the house? Or did anybody...
They live at an outhouse. Sorry, I should have been clear.
Okay, where do they live at?
They live at a place called... It's on King Street.
Okay.
It's right across from, I guess, like when you pull into that, like there's like that small little street and that cul-de-sac kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like it's the white house on the right.
So they kind of live by the cul-de-sac?
Yeah, it's like...
So if you pull onto King Road...
If you pull onto King Road...
Yep.
You see like houses, those apartments, and then that little like breakaway street, like where you can turn left. And
onto Queen?
Right.
Yeah.
And then so they live like right past that on the left on King Road, just like past where you turn left. You just keep going straight and they live in the back like corner. Right.
Okay, so kind of closer to the cul-de-sac?
Yeah.
Okay. And you dropped all 3 of them off?
Yes, sir.
Okay, did they say like what they were going to do?
Okay, so he just described the house that I told you, 1127, where the frats lived. He picked them up from the corner bar. the Corner Club bar. But he drops a lot of information in this video, guys. Okay, listen to the timestamps he's about to provide. Listen exactly. And if you know, Kaylee and Maddie on my timeline leave the Corner Club at 1:39. Okay, they leave the Corner Club at 1:39. They show up to the grub truck at 1:40. It only takes a couple, just across the road and over a little to get to Main Street where grub truck was parked. That is at 1:51. They show up. 1:40. They show up on the camera at the grub truck. Okay. Now, and that's at 1:46. They show up. Now, she text Gower at 1:45 a.m. just minutes after they've placed their order. And I think we've seen a little banter back and forth that they were number so and so, and that it would take him a few minutes. But he's like, okay, I'll go ahead and pull up in front, and I'm going to wait there. We've seen that. I've shown that video. Now, at 1:51, Maddie and Kaylee run off to get into Gower's vehicle. We've seen that on the footage. Okay, that is the actual footage. But get this. So I've just given you 3 timestamps. 1:40, they leave. 1:46, they leave Corner Bar. 1:45, text Gower. 1:51, rush off. But guess what happens between 1:45 and 1:51? Jack Decor messages Peyton Rossi at 1:49, just 4 minutes after Maddie and Kaylee leave the Corner Club, to come pick them up. The 3 guys from the bar. Listen.
Thing? Did you see them like go inside?
Yeah, I saw. I mean, they were going inside. I didn't really think of it too much. I just kind of reversed down and drove back home.
Okay, and you said that was around what time?
Yeah, I can see when, because I called Jack.
I called Jack. He's about to say 1:49.
Trying to make it a little more. I just don't want to give you the wrong time.
No, you're good, bro. Thanks, man.
Yeah, I called Jack to pick him up at 1:49.
And then which Jack was it? Okay.
Yeah.
So, we'll say, so you called him at 1:49?
Yeah, just to let him know that I was at the club very ready to pick him up. And then I dropped him off, so I probably was back home by 2:15, 2:30.
And what club was that?
The Corner Club.
Okay. So at 1:49. Okay. Did any of them say anything or mention if they were with anybody, or you just basically picked them up and dropped them off?
I just picked them up. It just kind of sounded like they were the last people that didn't get a ride. So when I told our freshmen to like just hold off on giving rides, I guess they were just kind of the ones that got stranded. So that's why I got them.
Gotcha. When you picked them up, were they with anybody else?
No.
Okay.
No, just those. I just took those 3 guys.
Okay, and then you dropped them off. They got out of your car, and then.
I went home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that
No,
worth
sorry,
noting or anything?
Not that I can think of, sir. No.
Okay. Okay. Was there a lot of parties going on off of King and Queen that night, you know?
Honestly, not that I know of.
Yeah.
I know there's like a couple different fraternities and sororities that all
Right.
over King Road, so I don't really know exactly what
Right.
all of them are doing.
But not anything you specifically noticed that night, though?
No, I was only at Treehouse, and by the time I left, there's like 4 people left at Treehouse.
Okay.
So
he was saying that 4 people were left at the treehouse party, and that was it. Okay, so now we know a timeline. So he says that he gets to the frat, he gets back to his own frat, and he goes to sleep at 2:15. Okay, that was 2:15. Now, what if I showed you something from a video that I caught that is very interesting? Let me just pull it up. Let me grab it. Idaho, hold on. There is the fabulous, and shout out to Connor for that video. There is a video from the Statesman that I want you to see. You guys have all seen this one before, but the reason I'm using this one is because it gives you the timeline that I want you to see. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Now, Peyton Rossi says he drops them off and he backs out. Did anybody hear him say he reverses? I can go back to Peyton Rossi real quick and I can show you where he says he reverses after he drops them off. Let's see. Let me see. Hold on. He drops them off and he says he reverses. So he doesn't go all the way down the road. You pull into King Road. He says, yeah, right here. So if you can, okay, hold on. He drops them off. I wish there was a way to search this video. Hold on a minute. I heard him say he reverses. Did anybody else hear that? He said reverses. So that means he pulled into King. He didn't park. And I'm wondering if he just dropped them off and they walk the rest of the way. Because we see a lot of activity over there on King Street in the next video I'm going to show you. So, hold on. Where did you drop all three of them off? Did you go inside? No. Here it is. Listen to him. Here is the clip. Listen.
Yeah, I saw. I mean, they were going inside. I didn't really think of it too much. I just kind of reversed down.
I reversed. What does he say? I reversed down and drove back home. That's what he said. Hold on. I'm going to play it back slow. And I'm going to put captions on. Listen.
Yeah, I saw. I mean, they were going inside. I didn't really think of it too much. I just kind of reversed down and drove back home.
I reversed down and drove back home. So that means when he goes into that cul-de-sac, I reversed down and went back home. He reversed, he left and went back to the frat. He does not live there with these other seniors. Okay, so I am going to grab this video. And we are going to be right here. Hold on. Let me grab this video. Oh. It was exaggerating. Oh, about 130 fever. I hope you guys are feeling well. I know some people were under the weather, and I'm so sorry. Okay. Now, you guys have seen this video before, but I want you to take this and don't look at the timestamps. Don't, because you know what? They had to construct a narrative. Okay? They had to construct such a narrative that the police department, in my humble opinion, would not be legally responsible for what happened in this home with two of the college-age students' parents that were confidential informants. If that ever got out that they weren't doing their job and they were going to be sued, shit would hit the fan, guys. Okay? Because we've already had problems with COVID. I've already talked about Stickergate. I've already showed you what was going on with the local church and the lawsuit that they settled for $300,000 out of court. I've already told you everything that was going on in this area at the time with statistics from the Moscow Police Department. I've showed you all this stuff, but listen to this. If Peyton Rossi tells the officers, and he's the only one that sounds like he's got some freaking integrity here. He tells them, I took Jack Decor and 2 other roommates in that house, that I dropped them off and I reversed. I left. Do we see anything on this video that's been released that could possibly be Peyton dropping them off and reversing and leaving to go back to Frat Row around the corner? Possible. So let me tell you what well, let's just watch it. I don't want to tell you. I want you to see it for yourself. So this video goes and they show you the diagram. And I'm going to stop it right here because I'm going to show you right across the walkway, right across from the K on the screen. If you go north, all the way down, that's the walkway that you walk up into. Okay? Now, I'm going to cross-reference this with another video so that you can see it at a different angle. Now, do not look at the timestamps on this footage. We know that they have tried to sell us the narrative. Forget it. Just totally forget it. Okay? Here we go. Now, they say that this is 3:30, but let me just put something. That's what the timestamp says. Ignore the timestamps, okay? Because this had to be, in my humble opinion, changed, manipulated, edited to fit the narrative so no one would be legally held accountable in that Moscow Police Department, okay? Somebody comes in. We don't know who that is. They're saying that somebody was canvassing this area. That's what they're saying. Then they speed it up to 3:33. I want you to stop and watch what happens. Now, someone has always said that this looks like a car that's been reversed and backed out. Now, I believe, in my humble opinion, they have used the same footage a couple of times, not just going back, but going forward. And here is why I say this. Because not only did they need it to fit the narrative, but I believe one of these cars coming in is actually when the girls were dropped off. Look at the minutes in the time frame that a car comes in and a car goes out. There's the guy that leaves. Then they're going to slow it down again for you. Here's 3:38. Forget about the noise you hear. Just watch the cars. I believe that this is probably somebody being picked up. The car comes in and the car leaves within minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes they leave. Then they're going to tell you another car's coming in. They're trying to make you believe that all of these are Brian Koberger, in fact. They're trying to tell you that this is the DoorDash driver. Looks like a little Subaru. I don't know what actual car that is. Then they speed it up, and that car is there for approximately 7 minutes. But here comes another car that never enters King, and another car drives by that never enters King. Then they tell you that this is Molly, the DoorDash driver, looking for the address. That's what they want you to believe. But what if I told you that this is actually 151? And I believe, in my opinion, that is Dylan trying to see if the girls are returning at 151. They speed it up. Somebody leaves. Now, this is the kicker. If this time frame is really 156, this is when who's getting dropped off. Now that kind of looks like the Toyota Prius. That looks like the Toyota Prius. If that was 156, that is the girls being dropped off. And this potential video has been manipulated all over the place. Same feed loop, same everything. Let's finish watching. See how long it takes him to leave. The car leaves at 158. That is very possible that indeed was Eric Gower dropping the girls off at 158. He comes in, drops them off, 2 minutes. In my humble opinion, this is all alleged speculation. I am just trying to line things up without looking at the timestamp. Don't look at the timestamp. Now, things start taking place after 2 o'clock when they get home. This is too early in the night. And why do I say that? Sunset at 4:48. It is dark there in the winter. Very dark. We're talking about the sun doesn't set in the summer until 9 p.m. This is pitch black that looks like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, but it's actually a little earlier. What happens next? Another car leaves. Maybe the same one that pulled in earlier. They want you to believe it's the DoorDasher. That would be leaving at 2 if my timing is correct. And what starts happening now? They have muted the sound for a reason. They've sped it up to hide something. At 2:04, in my humble opinion, at 2:04. This is the black truck that comes to allegedly pick up Dylan, in my humble opinion, because remember, there was witnesses that said they saw Dylan walking away from the house. I believe that is the same car yet again. They just changed the time. Listen to the car. And then it leaves again 2 minutes later. Stops. Backs up a little. Looking for someone and leaves. Are they lost? And goes back. Now note the time. Note this time at, they say it's 4:07. Note the time how long this car goes back and when it leaves. Almost 7 minutes. And if this is correct, this would be about the 2:17. "2:17 starts the commotion. I don't think Bethany and I don't think Dylan were actually there. If they were there, and if this was accurate, the witness said that they saw them leave about 2:00. That would be when Kaylee and Maddie came back in. Okay. So I don't know. There's another statement that Dylan gets, and she says that when she got home earlier that night in her statement, she says that no one was home, only she was there, and she went upstairs to Kaylee's room and took Murphy out. So did she leave the door unlocked? Don't know, but she said that she went and let Murphy out. And this could be 2:17. That is a possibility. So now if you go over to the Linda Lane archives and hit 2:17, you're going to see, let me grab it real quick so you can listen for yourself. Linda Lane, 13:30 at 2:17. I think Linda Lane is accurate, in my humble opinion. So, the Statesman just said at 4:17:25. I'm just going to say it's 2:17:25. Okay. We're going to go over to the Linda Lane. I think it's a little bit behind, but I'm going to volume up, guys. If you got headphones, I'm going to give you a warning real quick. 2:17. You start hearing Murphy barking in the background, if that is Murphy. Non-stop barking. So keep in mind, if they did get back, let's say around the 2:00 mark, you can hear that car coming in. You can hear how busy it is in the background. The car leaving. Yeah, I don't believe they were there. Somebody yelling. And what didn't make sense to me is Dylan's statement that if she got home between 12:30 and 1, she took Murphy out to go to the restroom. So if Murphy went out at, let's just say 2:30 to 1, why would they take Murphy out again at 2 when Kaylee and Maddie got home? That didn't make sense to me. I have an animal. My dog is probably about a little bit bigger than Murphy. He doesn't need to go out at every hour on the hour. He's not, I mean, his bladder is, almost fully developed, in my humble opinion. They kept silencing the videos, the girl crying near the mic, correct. So, in my humble opinion, I started looking at some other videos to see if it could be, obviously, a different time frame that we're looking at. Peyton Rossi seems to have the time frame down when he drops them off, and then Linden Beck between the 3 and 5 time frame and what he's saying. I think that's pretty accurate. So now we have this, 2, I would say 2 when they get dropped off to 5 a.m. I think 5 a.m. is when cleanup was all done. 5 a.m. is done. Okay. So yeah, it cuts in and out because of Starlink. So just bear with me right now. The only other thing that I can say to this is there are videos that Officer Snyder has put out. And if there's no video cam in between both of these houses right here, do you see where the officer is roping this area off? That is 1118 right here on this rooftop. If you can see my cursor. Okay, that's 1118. The only way that you could get down there is to go around the backside, walk down the rocks, and come right in this back door without ever being on camera. Without ever being on camera.
Let's go, Ryan. That's where those footprints go.
That's where those footprints go.
Right down here. Yeah, they wrap around that log, cut back.
Remember the jacket? The jacket's right there in that little cubby hole, guys. And there was a party, allegedly, at 1118 right down there. I'm going to try to get back into that little cubby. Hold on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a 12. That's bigger than me. 13 or yeah, easily a 13 or 14.
There is no fence around 1118. There's no barrier. There's no fence around 1122. The only way that they could get in and out without being caught on any video camera would be this back door here by this other officer that's taping down here, or the other side door, back door. See that? Whose jacket? I believe that was Linden's jacket. There is the jacket in the cubby hole, and there is the jacket on Linden in a couple of his pictures. That could possibly be the blue jacket. Allegedly. So there is a lot of evidence in the pictures and in the documents that I have shown you today that would make me believe, in my humble opinion, were the frats involved? Possibly. Absolutely possibly. And what in the world would be the motive? Eliminate the biggest threats? What would be a motive? This is the only way that you could get here without being on anyone's cameras. If you walk through the front, you'd be on the security cam.
Well, we're going to be here for a while, obviously. Whatever you need. Right now, we're just locking it down until the Tyson said he's almost here, and detectives will be up here shortly. So. We have one detained right now. Well, I shouldn't say detained. We have one that came up, and Ryan was in the middle of something.
We have one detained in the back seat of the car. Who was that? And then he says, well, I wouldn't be really calling it detained. He came up. He walked up to the crime scene, and that was BJD.
I think Nunes is interviewing him right now. Ex-boyfriend.
Right there. Hey, Ryan, it looks like that's where they go. Ryan. Right where you're at. Those footprints were right down there, and the only way to get to the other side of this house right here would be to cut through, either go in this back door right here, side door right here, or all the way through and run into the other house. Could that possibly be?
That's where those footprints go.
He was questioned. He did have a lie detector test.
Oh.
Right down here. Yeah, they wrap around that log, cut back.
And there's the jacket in this little cubby hole right there under the TV. That is where that jacket is.
Moscow 113. I have 5 missions to run.
Okay. So one other thing that I did notice on a different body cam in part 3, shout out to Connor. He's trying to put one of those warm packs in his hand or something because it's freezing out there. There was something on this body cam. I had it in reference for a reason. Maybe it was the conversation that they were having in the background. See the back door right here? I don't know why they roped it off from here all the way there. But when they said that it was back in the back and it looped around, I believed it went down. Because in another screenshot that I showed you just the other day, I think it was Snyder once again, or Warner, on that footage, he is looking in between both of those houses and looking at the snow and where those tracks go. Now, get this. There's one other thing that I had on this stream I wanted to share, and we'll get into it a little bit more. This video camera where Officer Schneider, once again, thanks Connor, is asking the girl for the videos because they know that this is the only location that has a video.
She's coming. No, I'll call you back, okay?
Take a shower?
Okay, bye.
Okay. Did you call the cops?
Did you call the cops about the footage? The cops.
No?
No.
Awesome, thank you. Hey, can you excuse me? Hey, when she gets out, I still haven't received a video from her, so I don't know if it didn't go through or what. Just let her know that.
Okay.
Thank you.
But didn't they hand them the SD card on Gunderson's audio video? Didn't she hand them the card? I remember seeing that last week. I'll look back. And it ends there. So I believe she does hand one of them a, hold on a minute. Let me see if it's in this one. I've got 2 videos here.
Is everybody that lives here? I know it says your one friend that might have left.
My boyfriend's here. Do you want him?
Sure, you can sit up too. I was just going to talk to you guys. I'll have you guys just stay here for a little while, if that's all right. I don't want anybody coming and going right now. I see you guys have a camera here.
Yes.
Do you have any other cameras?
No, just that one.
Just I want to know how big of a picture does that get?
How
just
big of a
like the
picture
road,
does it
like,
get? Because we want to know if you can see right beside you.
It cuts the driveway here, but it shows.
Okay.
Everything.
And are you guys able to get copies of that? Recordings?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's on an SD card.
Okay.
So we also have an app. Oh yeah, we also have an app.
Okay. Do you mind if I can get a copy of that? Is that
Yeah.
cool?
How would we do that?
We'll give you an email.
Okay.
And then you guys can email if that works. Whose camera is it?
It's mine.
Okay.
Yeah. What's the email that you?
Let's go with R. Snyder, SNYDER.
SNY.
DER.
DER.
At ci.moscow.id.
ID.
Yep. .us.
Yeah,
it's gonna do that.
Perfect.
R. Snyder. Yeah, that'd be great. Okay. Thank you. And if everybody's okay here, if you guys need to leave or something like that, just let us know.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
There are all the investigators talking down at the corner right there too. So let me see if I've got the other video. It was right when they were looking down the house and they were looking at the footprints in between 1118 and the other house, 1126. Hold on. Where is his footage? I know that I saw it. Okay, so I'll look for that. Here's the last thing I want to leave you with, and we're going to get into this heavy, really heavy, guys. If, in fact, Dylan made a statement several times about her phone when she was interviewed in Boise, okay? When she was interviewed in Boise, she looked at her phone and she kept telling the officers 310. I have a video with Kaylee and they were dancing and we were up in the room and all this other stuff at 310. It wasn't 310 because according to Dylan, the time changes. So it actually is 2:10, folks. It was 2:10. She says she was trying to go to the grub truck. She texted Eric Gower to see if he could take them to the grub truck at 2:10. The grub truck closed at 2:30 that night. So she's over here telling the police it was 3:10, and she says the grub truck is the best place to go when you're drunk, knowing the time difference. The grub truck closed at 2:30, not 3:30. So there's no way she could be texting Eric Gower at 3:10 like she said. That is why in the court documents they put 2:10. She texted him. Well, over and over in her statements, she says, it was 3:10. It was 3:10. I know it was 3:10 looking at her phone, when they know, in fact, it was 2:10. You guys don't want to miss the next live. I'll be back. Should I be back tomorrow with this information? Do you guys want it now or do you want to wait? Drop a 1 for now, 2 for wait. They are leaving out days and times. Yes, they are. 2:10 was the actual time that Dylan texted Eric Gower. All right, I'll be back tomorrow at, let's say 3 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. Tomorrow, 3 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. You all have been freaking amazing. Enjoy the rest of your Black Friday. If you're shopping, drop a 1 if you're shopping. If you've finished all your Christmas shopping. I sure hope everyone has. And as always, love every single one of you. Drop some love for the mods here. And shout out to those who received Thanksgiving gifts from us at Phoenix Talks. Be well, every single one of you. Be well.
We marching with the nesters, they laid the foundation, passed down revelation, sparked our motivation. In a world of facades, we peeling back the layers. Truth is the weapon that cuts through all the fakers. Phonets in our chest, reborn from deception. Eyes wide open, no room for misdirection. Every step we take, we honor the connection between past and present, forging our resurrection. Phoenix rises in truth, setting us free from the lies that they feed. We reclaim our beliefs, thinking differently, we'll break every chain. We dance for freedom, case by case, again. We cultivate vision, planting seeds of awareness, challenge the narrative, break out of the harness, digging deep for knowledge, unearthing the hidden. Our minds are the soil where the future is written, no longer confined by the scripts they prescribe. We write our own story, let the real one subscribe. One voice becomes many, together we rally. Freedom's not a concept, it's a move and a tally. Case, we break the cage. Dark by dark, we shift the stage. Phoenix rises in truth, setting us free from the lies that they feed. We reclaim our beliefs, thinking differently, we'll break every chain. We dance for freedom, case by case, again. again. Rise up, speak out, watch the new world breathe.